walk in the light. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walking in the light of the Lord. It's a great day to praise the Lord. It's a great day to praise the Lord. It's a great day to praise the Lord. Walking in the light of the Lord. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walk in the light. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walking in the light of the Lord. It's a great day to trust the Lord. It's a great day to trust the Lord. It's a great day to trust the Lord. Walking in the light of the Lord. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walk, 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 walk in the light. Walking in the light of the Lord. Yes. So we have our next speaker, Sister Marides, and it's my privilege to introduce you all the next speaker. I asked many about, if anybody wants an introduction about Sister Marides, and they all said yes, they need it. So here I am. Sister Marides is originally coming from the province of Philippines North, right? And I am told that by professional training, she is a financial personnel and very tech savvy in the sense she is very good at adapting technology. And she has been working for our congregation as a communication coordinator since 6 years, and still she will be working. That's what it is told. And we are closely connected, all of us, I think from 2015 onwards. And it's our privilege to have you today as our main speaker. So, yeah. Hearty welcome, sister.
Thank you. I was not expecting that. Now, this afternoon, if you'll notice in our calendar, the yellow ones, you would often see my name there. You would often see my name. But actually, these are not presentations. This is like business meeting for us. We have invited speakers for presentations, but my part will be to talk about our work, our real work as communications coordinators. We, on the part of the congregation, and you on the part of the provinces and regions. How are we actually doing our work for this position? Now, today, our topic, because our speakers this morning discussed about languages and then the newsletters, then we will talk about that this afternoon. But how are we experiencing this in our own congregation? Okay. We all know that our official languages are English and Spanish. That has been decided in the last general chapter, because before we still had German. This time it's English and Spanish. In 2015, when we were preparing for the drafting of the SSpS Congregational Communication Plan, we made a study. A survey and then a study. And that time, we had this report regarding the languages used in our congregation. You will see here that it is arranged according to the number of sisters using this language. So you will see in the last column, this is the percentage based on the number of sisters. Meaning, English is 28%. And then 21% Indonesian, Spanish 12%, German 15%, Portuguese 8%, Polish 4%, Chinese 3%, Japanese 2%, Slovak 2%, Dutch 2%, Taiwanese 1%, Korean 1%, French 1%, and then below 1% are these two languages. And in the course of years, I think we have, now that we are also in Uganda, also in Greece, so we would have added more languages. Which means even if our official languages are English and Spanish, there is still a need, to attend to the needs of other sisters in as far as language is concerned. Because among the English group, the following provinces, regions need translation from English to their own languages: Germany, Austria, Japan, Poland, Ukraine, Taiwan, China, Slovakia, Korea, Togo, Russia, Netherlands, and Timor-Leste. Each one takes care of its own translations, hopefully. We will discuss later how is this working in reality. Among the Spanish group, Argentina Misiones, Argentina North, Argentina South, Bolivia, Chile, Spain, Mexico, Paraguay, all materials should be in Spanish. All materials. The general takes care of the translation because it's one of the official languages. Among the Indonesian group, Timor, Flores East, Flores West, Kalimantan, Java, all materials should be in Indonesian. Right now, Java takes care of translations. Among the Portuguese group, Angola, Brazil North, Brazil South, Mozambique, all materials should be in Portuguese. Even Spanish material should be translated to Portuguese. Brazil South takes care of translations, depending on their agreement, because I know the newsletter is being translated by Ana Elidia, who belongs to Brazil North. So this is the reality of our congregation in as far as languages is concerned. Cuba. Why you did not notice that during our last meeting? That's true. I'm sorry. Okay, let's change that. That is. No, it's true. You know, Rani. Yes. When we were making the study, that time, okay. Only we would know why. Anyway, we have corrected that. Okay. Now, we will leave this presentation first. I want to show you in our communication plan, which is in your folder also. I placed this folder, SSPS Communication Plan. If you open that, you will find in page 4. Okay. Under Communication Strategies, goal number 1. This is our SSPS Congregational Communication Plan. Materials intended for all members of the congregation are translated into the respective languages of the provinces, regions. Objectives. Long-term, for all members of the congregation to learn one of the official languages of the congregation. That's long-term, which means you either learn English or Spanish. If you are Spanish-speaking, you have to learn English. If you are a non-Spanish speaking, all other languages, you have to learn English also. For all provinces, regions, to ensure that congregational materials, for example, SSPS Worldwide Newsletter, are translated into the common language of the province or region. It was mentioned already this morning. It can happen that one province or one region has more than one country. For example, Spain, Portugal. This is one region. Botswana, and now, I do not know if this is official already. You have, that's official already, no? Yes. Okay. Botswana, South Africa, and then Zambia is separate. Zambia is one region, and then Botswana, South Africa is another region. So there are, meaning one province can have more than one language, but it should have a common language as far as the congregation is concerned, because the sisters should be communicating in a common language, isn't it? So, I don't know, what is the situation in the case of provinces with more than one country? Do you agree on one language, common language? Yes, Katarina. Microphone, please.
So we are Slovak province, but there is Slovakia, Czech Republic, and Hungary. But in every country, they use the language of the country. But now I don't know that which language to use. We try use English when it's like, now it's generalish visitatio. I don't know how to say in English. General visitation. So we use English, but when we have, for example, now they have a meeting with Sister Maria Kristina, and they use Slovak. But sisters from Hungary, especially who are appointed to Hungary, they will not learn Slovak because it's different language for them. Mm-hmm. So they know English and Hungarian. Mm-hmm. And this is the difficulty in our province.
Which only means that there is an issue that we have to resolve if we want to reach this objective. No, not this one. That all if we want to reach this objective, this goal, that materials intended for all the members of the congregation are translated into the respective languages of the provinces and regions. You know, this is the goal, but we must understand what is the reason behind this. Like in our group alone, you know the importance of language. That for you to be able really to internalize something, you should be able to understand it in your own language and be able to express yourself, isn't it? And the reality of our congregation being international, with so many members, we are still one of the lucky congregations with such high membership. You know, if you are here in Rome and you know many congregations, we are still one of those who have many membership. Like the SSND, which they are only around 800, something like, and they were, there was a time they were 40,000. So we are still lucky. And one time I expressed to the provincial regional leaders during their assembly, right now I am not yet wishing for us to increase membership. Not yet. Because as of now, we are still struggling in managing only language. Language alone, we are still struggling. Are you 100% sure that we are reaching all the sisters in the congregation? When the congregational leadership team gives or come up with a material that is intended for all the sisters, can you say 100% that our sisters can understand this material and they are reaching them in their own language so that they can also benefit from all these materials? So, can you imagine if we are more than, right now we are less than 3,000 already. So, if we are still struggling with that, how much more if we get more members and we do not know yet how to manage even language alone. So, this is an important aspect of our plan, and all of us are concerned about this, especially the communications coordinator. I know that repeatedly I would give this example. India is a success story. Because from the beginning, because India alone, the country of India has many languages. So if for the first time they would meet, they also would not be able to understand one another. Although Hindi is the national language. But from what I learned, not all also can speak this language. So those who are entering the congregation, right from the beginning, it's emphasized they should learn English. And they're successful. All Indian sisters know English. So it's possible. It's possible. Only you really have to be serious about it and really from the beginning do it. So it's really possible. And that's India. English is not at all there. Not even a second language. Not even a third language. So it's possible. And that is our goal. Because being international, we should be able to express ourselves and be able to understand. We are sisters, and we should be able to do that. So this is our task. Somebody really has to, of course, it was also emphasized, it's already in the constitutions. It's already in the manual of formation. But being in the communication ministry, we need it. It's a necessity for us because we are producing materials for the whole congregation, for our own provinces and regions. And out of necessity, we need to address the issue of language. So I cannot overemphasize that already, and all of us must take that seriously. Now, we want to systematize our way of translating our materials. For English, Spanish, it's still easier because here in Rome, we take care of that. COCO team, I just created that word. That's Congregational Communication Team. Just like first I created ComCourse, that is Communication Coordinators. That was the first. Then when we had already our team, I created that COCO team now. It's like a basketball team, no? Anyway, that's only for us. From here, Rome, we have in-house translators. We have Spanish and English. So all the materials that we are producing here, we always have them translated. We have direct contact with the translators, Spanish translator or English translator. Spanish translator, we have the Spanish secretary. But when materials are too much, because the Spanish secretary also attends to the official communications of the congregational leader and the congregational leadership team. So sometimes we also ask the help from outside, like Nancy is always helping us, even in written materials. Now for Spanish to English, we have Margaret Ann Norris, who is in the United States. So you will notice when you see the SSPS worldwide newsletters, this box of editorial team and language partners, their names are there. So we send these materials to them, it comes back to us, and then we send it to you, English and Spanish. Right now, I am still sending to you and your leader. Now, it will be for the non-Spanish and non-English speaking. Your work starts there for these other languages. When you receive the material from COCO team, oh, sorry. Okay. COCO team to ComCourse. That's you. Now, from you, you have to have a direct contact to your translators in the province or in the region. Then from the translator, it goes back to you. And you are now the one to send it out to the sisters. Now, if you open your folder in Common, this first is one Common in the team drive. You will find, yes, list of translators. Did you find? Can you fill out this list right now? Let us see if let us see the reality in the provinces and regions. If you don't have, then just say none or NA. If there's no need, don't. Right now, in our mind is only the sisters. Okay? The sisters. Because that is our goal and objective in as far as our plan is concerned. That materials will reach all the sisters in the provinces and regions. I think it's also in ASPAC. ASPAC is Asia Pacific. It includes Oceania. Let me ask in India. Is it because that's what I know, that all the sisters are they all know English. So are all the materials really remain in English when it's coming from the congregation? Yes. Mm-hmm. Hmm? You have to put, even if it is a lay person who's translating for you, please put it. Another question which I want to ask is, if the sisters are assigned in other countries, for example, a Polish sister who is in South Africa, or do you still need to receive materials in Polish? You receive, which means you are in the mailing list of your province, of your home province, Poland. Yes. No, this is just a question as a matter of fact. So don't worry about your answers. It's just knowing the reality. Because I understand. For example, Indonesians who are assigned in Netherlands, like Lily, Clara, who is in Spain. Do you feel the need to receive materials in Indonesian? No. Okay. So it depends on the sisters. But do you receive? Are you receiving from your home provinces materials in Indonesian? No, also. Okay. You were raising your hand, Tessie? Yes, Calista. Okay, you can type because you know that it's from Java also, no? Ines. Now, what materials do we translate? Number one is SSPS Worldwide Newsletter, because that's more regular. And it's news coming from the different provinces and regions. Now, when it comes to publications, for example, we have the latest book that we have published is this JPIC and Our Founding Generation. I know that there is a they published it in German language and in Indonesian and Portuguese. These three. Now, what happens to the other languages, for example? Because this is a congregational material, a book. It's JPIC and Our Founding Generation. It is even published by the two general councils, both SSPS and SVD. So it goes to all the members of the SVDs and all members of the SSPS. So, can you say something with regards to this publication?
Check. Yeah. We don't translate it, sister. All the publish, and also, what is it? Novene also. Novene for novena.
Novena.
Yeah, novena text. Last time we decided, because the material is too much, in quotation, is too much, especially for the elder sisters. And then also what happened in our province is the workflow is not really exactly so, just like what you mentioned. For example, after we receive all the document from here, from the Generalat, and then they will negotiate. I don't understand sometimes. The translator, our sisters also, she will look at it, the document, how long is it, and then they will discuss first with the PLT. And then PLT decided, oh yeah, we will translate it, or no, we don't translate it, because sometimes it's too much, and our elder sisters also, they cannot read it. For example, the novena, physically, they cannot attend 1 hour or more than 1 hour in the chapel of in the sharing room, something like that. So they try to adjust the material in other form. For example, only the theme of the day, and then make it new version, if I can say like that. And then for the official document, like 125 published, what is congregation, we don't translate it, just in English. And every community has it, the book, in English. So we don't translate in Dutch. Yeah.
Let's look at the reality of Netherlands. No? Is it only really the elderly sisters? I mean, how many percentage is the elderly sisters in the Netherlands province?
At that are only 41 sisters, and 9 is under 70.
Only 9 is under
Only
70.
9 under 70.
But 70 is still not really.
The rest is 85 plus. And then not only 80 plus or 70 plus, but 85 plus. So you can imagine. And we are the young one. I mean the 70, under the 70. We can we can use the English version, so we no need to translate it. So that's why our translator also try to negotiate how is it. We translate all the material or just take some part of the theme of the day or so, and for the elders, and then the young community normally use English.
But these elderly sisters, are they bedridden? Because, for example, Sister Ortrud is 80 plus, but she still reads. I mean, our materials still reach Sister Ortrud. But if you are saying elderly, are they bedridden, as in they are not anymore capable of reading and...
For some sisters who knows English, we still distribute it via email. And some of the sisters who really wants hard copy, so we will print it for her. But the rest not. We just try to communicate with them with other form. So if they have one occasion, something like, and then one of the PLT will say something related with the document or,
Okay. We trust that the PLT themselves know the situation of their province and region. It's just that we also can see, if we believe in these decisions, we can just post question, or, I mean, this is now a challenge to each one of us. We know the situation in our province, respective province and region, and so we know if there is really a need to address the issue. If the sister is just, set aside and not able to benefit anymore to the materials that the congregation is producing, then it's a pity. I mean, the sister is still alive. She is still capable, even if she's 80, she's still capable of praying, of reflecting, of being updated, what's happening in the congregation where I belong, something like this. So it's something that you yourselves have to reflect on. Just that our goal is we value every member of our congregation, and every sister counts still. And if we value them, then they should also, receive and benefit from what we are benefiting from ourselves, we who know the language. So that's the principle behind this. Okay. Now, I am showing here the website because here, for example, during the year of communion with marginalized and excluded, we had a monthly reflection. Do you remember that? Yes. From March to November. And we were successful in doing this. I mean, we produced it in 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 languages. We had English, Spanish, Portuguese, Indonesian, German, Chinese, Polish, Russian, Slovak, Ukrainian, Tetum, Japanese. Tetum is in Timor-Leste. That's their national language. So every month, we were doing that. Okay. What we were missing here only were 2 languages, Dutch and Korean. I was really struggling, but I was not successful. Okay. So, but 12 is a good number already to be able, which means it's possible. Only if we really remain consistent and faithful. For example, Germany and Austria, all the materials, no questions asked, all the materials are translated into German. And they have also elderly sisters. But and many young sisters already know English. But still. Yeah. The same with Portuguese. Portuguese doesn't accept Spanish. Even if they receive Spanish materials, they still translate to Portuguese. This book, this JPIC, it's in Portuguese. So, I mean, there's an effort really to... And then for this year, communion with others, we had the novena, the Pentecost novena. Two, four, 6, 8, 10. 10 languages. And I know, like Russia, they are engaging a layperson, isn't it? Even in Ukraine, they are engaging a layperson there. So it's possible. If none of our sisters can translate, we can also pay. We can pay a lay translator. We cannot tell that we don't have the resources for that. No, we cannot say that. We know that for a fact. So I am just emphasizing this because I myself feel the importance. And I want you also to feel the importance to be able to reach each member of the congregation. So the translation flow that I presented is, for me, as I see it, the ideal flow, unless you have another workflow that you can suggest. Right now, I know for some provinces, the leaders are still involved. I mean, they are for official, especially for official communications. We are not talking about here the official communications because they have their own system. I mean, from the congregational leader, it goes to the Secretary General, it's translated, and the Secretary General sends them out. What we are talking about here are the ones that we are publishing in the communication office. The most regular is the SSPS Worldwide Newsletter and the books, some books that we are producing. So do you see, is this possible? So now, it depends again on your PLT.
Sister, honestly, actually, a little bit disappointed with what happened in my province. So, as I know in Java, if we receive all the document from Generalat, so the translator will be doing this one. So
No questions.
I receive and then I will translate it. But what happened in my province now, they negotiate. I don't know what happened. They will look at, how many pages is it? And then, I don't have time, so and so and so. So, and then, I don't know. And sometimes PLT also excuse of that. And then, actually, we have no reason to say that we cannot translate it into Dutch because we can pay also. So, just like what you say. I think SSPS still has money to pay someone. to translate it. But yeah, I don't know what happened also. So yeah.
Is this
Even-
the only situation like this? I mean, in other provinces, do you have difficulty also? Korea, what is your situation?
Yes, at the beginning of doing my duty, I was fully with the thought of Sister Marides, knowing that our material, if we need to go deeply in proper language, really to understand what is in the novenas and to fully benefit. So I knew some two sisters who could translate and approached, researched if it is possible, but later I was told, no, really no need translator, we will do in English. We can do the English language in each community. So we stayed in this level as of now. When the news come to PLT, then from them it goes directly to community leader, and sometimes I was surprised already they had it in English and it was natural that in community study we had to do in English, or Korean sister can share in Korean language. So in my case, I could hear English or Korean when we reflected.
Okay. But not all can speak English or read in English.
When I verified before going to Rome, if it is really true, I was told every sister can manage
English.
Yes. Even personally, I had doubt because really doing it responsibly, some doubts I had, but sister assured me we can manage in English. Yeah. Yes.
Well, Philippa, it's your responsibility if that is the reality. Okay. Yes, Grasa.
Thank you. I try to speak in English.
Okay.
Because Sister Marides. Yeah, in my region, I think during our task as translator to send to the CLT, we are very late to send to here because we find problem about the internet. You already went there and you know about our reality there. It's our real reality in Timor-Leste now. And the second, the material is too much, but we try to, because like reflection, novena, we use also in the parish. Pentecost novena in all the parish, they ask us to provide novena to use in the parish, and we, how to say,